Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'll teach you how to do a nice looking Choropleth map in a QGIS platform. Let's get started. Make sure that you save your project by going to Project and Save As, so that you'll be able to retrieve this data or project in a later date. Now let's open our data. The data for this exercise is available on the course dashboard. Let's go down, let's go add that. Make sure that you always open the shapefile. Okay, now we have our SF data, San Francisco data. This is a default map which doesn't have a nice looking coloring and different map elements that makes your map professional. So let's get started. Let's right click and go to properties, and in the properties make sure that you check the drop down menu and then select graduated. Once I've done that, also make sure to select the column or a field that you want to map. In this case, I'd like to map cancer in San Francisco. That means the proportion of residents who are diagnosed with cancer compared to the total population in that census tract. So I have selected SF cancer as my attribute field or column for this mapping exercise. And then most of the time I prefer natural breaks or junks, which provides you a nice looking, the best way to map your data. It provides a pretty equivalent proportion of the data on assigning data for this different color ramps. So I usually prefer that, the natural breaks or the junks. And classify and apply that. Click OK. Now I have a pretty nice looking map. So this map shows me the proportion of residents in San Francisco who diagnosed cancer. So I can check neighborhoods or census tracts with higher number of residents who are diagnosed with cancer compared to this area, for example, which has a lower proportion of people who are diagnosed with cancer. So it helps you to interpret your map in a better way, assigning different color ramp and classifying your data. Now we have our map. Let's go ahead and create a layout in Map Composer. To do that, I'll just click Project and New Print Composer. I'll just give it a name. I'll name it as SF Cancer. Okay, so this is my new Map Composer window. I'll go ahead and add the current map by clicking this Add button and just drag and drop. Perfect. I can also move this to different positions here. Make it look pretty nicer. Okay, now I have my map, which looks nice, but for someone who reads or looks at this map, it's less meaningful because they don't know what's dark blue or light blue, and then they have pretty much not enough information to understand or interpret this map. So we kind of need to create a legend for that purpose, which provides a little bit of context to this current map. So to add a legend, I'll go click Layout and create legend. add legend, and then I'll drag and drop, and then it will automatically give me the legend from my main map. But it sounds like I don't like the legend to have a title, so just I'll go ahead and remove that. To do that, I'll double click and go here, the different elements of the legend. I'll just change that or just remove that, and automatically it will remove it from my legend. So currently my legend has a title, and I can also change the name of the legend. If I change the name of the layer, it automatically changes the name. So I'll just change, go ahead and then double click or just right click and then go to property or just click generals, and then I'll change this into SF Cancer, so that it makes sense for a reader what this data is. Okay, now let's go to layers. Now my legend has a pretty cleaner and meaningful title. It says SF Cancer, San Francisco Cancer. So someone who reads this map will understand that this is a proportion of, at least they'll have a better information than the blank map that we had earlier. So it's a proportion of residents who are diagnosed with cancer as so the proportion of cancers who are diagnosed with cancer, that means the total number of residents diagnosed with cancer divided by, as a denominator, the total number of people in that census tract. So it gives us the proportion of residents who are diagnosed with cancer. So now our map has a little bit of a better meaning, and also we can give our map more context, just for, make it easy for readers to understand what it is. We can add a title here. Just I'll go click layout and add label and drag and drop here so that I can write a title. I can name my title as Cancer Among Adults Aged Cancer Among Adults, or I can do greater than 18 years. And I can also change the size and the font type, and I usually like to make bold, and we can change this to 20 so that it looks a little bit visible, and I can drag here just to extend the entire title window. Now our map has a title, Cancer Among Adults greater than. Okay, let's change this. Okay. So now we're done with our map title. We have our legend, and one more thing is a scale bar, which gives context readers in terms of the scale of the map. So I'll go click add scale bar and drag it at the bottom. It just gave me a default scale bar. So what I'll do is just I'll double click that and go change the different styles of scale bar. I usually like line TXAP style, and we don't need the left. Change the position. and drag a little bit down. Okay, perfect. Now our map has some basic elements in terms of the title, the legend, and the scale bar, and we have done a pretty nice looking color ramp to show the proportion of persons diagnosed with cancer in different census tracts in San Francisco. Now the last thing is exporting this map. We have options. We can export it as a PDF file. We can export it as image file. Let's go export it as a JPEG file image. To do that, I'll just go click the drop down menu here. I'll just select JPEG format and also give it my working folder, and it will, let's just, okay. I'll name my data into SF cancer, and it gives me a DPI option. That's the export resolution. I usually prefer 300 DPI or more, so I'll just take a default and click save. I saved my Choropleth map. Here's my map with a JPEG file.